What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Purpose Place. This is your favorite coach, NaQuandra, and we are back at it again with another episode. And we got your girl, Whitney McCoy, in the room. So we are in for a treat, okay? She's already been on once. We had a oopsie episode, and we're recording it again, and it's going to be good again. So, Lord, we need you to come on in and walk us through this thing one more time. Amen. Whitney, introduce yourself to the people. Let them know who you are, what you do, and all that stuff.
Oh gosh, I always get nervous. NaQuandra? Like, I wear a shirt that says who I am and what I do. Hey y'all, I'm Whitney. I am a global project manager and mom strategist. So I pretty much help moms streamline their time. I help them reclaim their time, really, honestly, truly, and get rid of mom guilt because that's really, it's not a good thing to have. I also have a community called the Mommy Franchise, which is gifted to me by the good Lord himself. I never, never woke up and said, yeah, I want to do this. So yeah, I just, just pray for your girl out here. And I am a mom, of course. I have a toddler, so y'all pray for me on that. And I am a wife. We are celebrating 5 years of marriage this year. And I realized it, but I really didn't realize it until I looked back at the day that we got married. And I was like, we really celebrated 5 years. So we'll be celebrating 5 years in a little bit.
But yeah, a woman of many, 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 many things we see. And yes, I call you when I was getting prepared. I was like, what kind of name should I give Whitney? And I was like, oh, she's the advocate for mom guilt.
Ooh,
It sounds
I
good.
like that. I like that. It's funny. One of my friends also, well, she doesn't call me an advocate, but she calls me the activator too. I was like,
Ooh, that's good. You definitely
I
are.
was like, girl, listen, I don't be playing.
You don't be playing. And I love how you just embrace that. I don't be playing. Because you don't be playing.
Girl, listen, because you see how fast this year is going?
Mm-hmm.
This is insane to me. So we don't have time to be stopping and taking breaks, even though I'm taking a break, but not a real break. You know what I'm saying? But we
Right.
ain't got time. We ain't got time
Right.
for that.
We
But
don't
that's
have
neither
time
here nor
for
there.
those sit in your feelings. I'm sad, taking a break. Like, yeah, we're gonna take a productive break, but we're not doing that, going back
Exactly.
into the closet and crying and sliding up down the wall and throwing up and stuff. We got want to do that. We can't do that.
Girl, I was about to be crying and sliding up and down the walls today because work, I literally started meetings. I had 4.5 hours worth of meetings today, like back to back. I might have had like a 15 minute, no, maybe altogether like a 30-minute break in between meetings. So I definitely was fighting for my life on them calls. And one, I had to lead one and then like participate in the other three.
Mm-hmm.
I was fighting for my life,
I can imagine.
big
So,
time.
so tell us how you got started with business, with having days like that, 4 hours of meeting. How did you get on up in this water in entrepreneurship?
So I don't, how did I end up here? I'm like, how did I end up here? So I actually started my business journey a long time ago and didn't realize I was starting my business journey. So you know how so I was always surrounded by entrepreneurs and they would be like, oh, like, what do you think about this? So I wasn't like consult or coaching necessarily, but I was consulting people on their business ideas and, different things like that. And so a former friend of mine was like, girl, you need to like go into consulting. Like, you're really good at this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I really hesitated because I thought that I had to have like a degree. I thought I had to, because I didn't come from an entrepreneurship world. Like, I don't have many people in my family that are entrepreneurs, if any. Like, I don't know. Um, well, maybe like one or two, maybe, but I didn't come from that space. So all I was focused on was like going to school. right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you hear like, oh, you should be a coach or a consultant, I'm like, oh, I need to go to school, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I ain't going back to school. Like, what? Like, I just finished a bachelor's, I just finished a master's. Like, I'm not going back to school. I'll just do this, because you're my friend, like type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. And so I just kept doing that off and on. And I'm like, dang, like maybe I should like really start doing this random. But I actually was like building websites random because I liked it random.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started my beauty business in 2019. Um, dang, did I start in 2019? Did I start my beauty business the month that I got married? Now that I'm thinking about that,
That would be
I
wild.
was doing a lot. I was doing a lot now that I think about it. But I started my beauty business. Okay. So I switched from service based to product based. So I had my beauty business
Mm-hmm.
and then I just shut that down. I think maybe like last year, I want to say. But in between me having a beauty business, I also got certified as a life coach. 1 week after Liam was born,
Mm-hmm.
I took a life coaching course. So, certified life coach, beauty business. Still don't know what I want to do with coaching because I'm like, what am I going to do? Had a come to Jesus moment. And that's where not only was the Mommy franchise birthed, which is my community, but that's when I decided that I wanted to be a productivity coach for moms. Moms not only need productivity, but they need a mindset change too. So that's pretty much how I started, how I'm progressing. In addition to the 4.5 meetings was for my corporate job. So I'm still doing it.
So what it seems like is, well, how you are delivering it, it seems like the transition into, not even a transition, but like adding your businesses and your community into your day-to-day schedule. The way you were explaining it, it seems like it may have been done with ease, but on the contrary, that is a lot to juggle. So what is your experience juggling the both of those?
So when I started in business, as you know, COVID happened. So I was actually going into work. So I had a 1 hour commute into work. I was still in school as well. I got a certification in organizational leadership. So it was actually very chaotic because as you know, when you first started business, it's a lot of learning that you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And what is that, like the bell curve? So I was like trying to get up to a place where I was stable. So running a product-based business, I was having to juggle like taking pictures, learning marketing, taking courses, all still while going to work and still being in school.
Mm-hmm.
And I think was I pregnant? No. But I was pregnant when I had the business, but um so a lot of my time was really dedicated to my business and trying to figure things out and getting scammed and you know learning different things. So yeah, girl. Yeah. But it was very difficult at first. Let me put it like this. It's not hard to start a business, but it's hard when you want your business to be legit. When
Yeah.
you want to make sure your back end looks as good as your front.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot of learning around that. And again, I had been surrounded by entrepreneurs. So it wasn't like super, super hard for me because I could lean on people that had already, got an LLC. Cause I'm like, I don't even know how to fill out the application, and it was like, oh, I got you. Let me help you. So I could lean on people in that aspect. But the hardest part of it was really juggling everything because I'm still, like I said, had an hour commute, still in school, trying to figure out this whole business thing, trying to figure out how to promote on social media, like get an email list. I'm like, what's the email list? Just all the things, all the things.
Yes,
But I figured it out.
of course, because you're here and you're thriving. So of course you figured it out. Wow. And so when you said that you said your family wasn't so much into entrepreneurship, but you had like people around you that were like friends. Please hold for an ad from our sponsors. Just kidding, it's me. Attention moms, are you searching for a vibrant community to connect, share, and flourish together? Discover the Mommy Franchise, spelled with a PH, a place where parenting, self care, and faith are deeply explored. Visit www.themommyfranchise.com for more information.
Yeah, my family, I always say the reason why I went to school is because my family wanted me to go to school. I really had dreams of being a hairstylist, believe it or not. I had dreams of being a hairstylist. So entrepreneurship, I think, was already in my blood,
Yeah.
but I had nobody to really cultivate that. I had nobody to
Mm-hmm.
really nurture that because I came from a family of workers, which is nothing wrong with it because I mean, that's how we got to eat. But I didn't have people in my family that had that mindset versus now, like I have a child. If he tells me he wants to own his own business, I'm gonna be like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a little bit different. So, luckily, I did have friends that already had businesses or, were in the same position as me. So, they were able to kind of guide me, in terms of like that back end process stuff.
Yeah, that's good. And are we going to get the scammer story on the pod today?
Which scammer story
Wait,
do
is
you
the
want?
scammer story, is it the one that y'all talked about in Atlanta, or is it the one about on
Oh, Clubhouse?
yeah, is that the scammer story?
Oh no. No, no. I have more scammer stories.
We need to hear a scammer story. I'm like, dang, how many stories you got? So, I mean, the one that y'all talking about in
Three.
Atlanta, she wasn't really scamming. She was just not capable.
I think she's a scammer. As a matter of fact, we saw something the other day and I was like, is
Really?
she back? Yeah, like I'm gonna send it to you. I ain't gonna call her out because this world is small, but I'm gonna send it to you and I'm gonna let you see it because it looks like she made this little graphic on Canva. And I'm like, the way that she kind of like screenshotted it, I'm like, that looks like it looks very much so like a Canva template. Like you ain't even try. And you just
Mm,
put some numbers in there.
that's
Like, I
crazy.
don't know.
That story blew my absolute mind, but we ain't gonna keep talking about it too much because people gonna be like, now I want to know what happened. That was great. Amen. Well, so going into starting your community and your business for productivity for moms, what strengths did you go into it with?
Oh, that is a good question. Okay, sis. So I have a background in healthcare management. I actually was a manager in my early corporate baddie days. And so I already kind of knew how to lead teams. In addition to having a certification in organizational leadership,
Mm-hmm.
like learning how to lead, like really learning how to lead and that's why I stepped away from management because I thought that I was not fine-tuned enough early on. Like I was like, this is crazy. Like I don't want to do this. Like there has to be something else. So I think I already had that like natural leadership, but it needed to be fine-tuned. So taking what I've learned on my jobs helped me a lot. So I think I really took in that strength. And what I see a lot is people don't communicate. Now, you can over communicate, you can under communicate, or you can have like right in the middle. So I think I took that into the communication too.
Yeah, that's good. I appreciate over communication because under communication could really tear some stuff up. I appreciate being over communicated with, but those are definitely strong suits to take into entrepreneurship. Being a team leader, you got to be able to um, direct people, taking the communication skills that you have into your business. It's super important because you have to know how to communicate with people. And Amber and I were talking about the importance of customer service, which we'll talk about too. But she was like understanding that the customers are like the meat of your business, and we need to address them as if they matter. Because some companies can be very dismissive to their customers, to their clients. And I'm
Mhm.
like, bro, hold
Mhm.
on, wait a minute. I'm paying you. Like, don't cut
Oh,
up like that.
d-
So having that skill in communication and organizational leadership is impactful for your business. But what weaknesses would you say that you brought in with you and that you had to overcome?
Um, so, through devotional, we talked about imposter syndrome, but we said we were going to use imposter syndrome. But that word imposter, because I'm not pretending to be anybody else, but just the feeling of not feeling just inadequate, to actually like lead. Like, I mean, I've done it because I'm getting paid. But when you don't get paid for it, people don't see it like a paying job.
Right.
You can feel that. And then it's like you're leading your peers essentially,
Mm.
right? And so lucky enough for me, I early on in my management career, I wasn't always leading my peers. I was actually leading people a lot older than me. So it kind of gave me tough skin because, baby, them old folk in a workplace are
They would look
something
at you like you
different.
crazy.
They definitely was looking at me like, who is this little young girl? And I literally was like 26, 25, 26. Telling a 60-year-old woman like, well, you need to do this, type of thing.
Wow.
um, so I guess, they kind of trained me for that, but still I carried that with me, like feeling inadequate, feeling like, how am I going to do this? Or just even lacking knowledge to lead a
Mm.
community
Yeah.
because that's different from leading people. Like they have a job. Like, if you guys don't do your job, like someone can get hurt. If you don't do your job, you're not going to get paid. But when you have a community, you're leading people that are not doing a job. They're here because they want to be here, which makes the pressure worse. Okay.
It definitely does. You got to figure out like what their needs are. You have to figure out what is going to encourage them to be engaged with the things that are going on in the community, especially when you want somebody to step up into some leadership. Like you really got to be on your stuff, like your niche, your P's and Q's, whatever we're going to call it. You really have to know what your community purpose is. There we go, Kendall. Let's go. You need to know what your community purpose
Okay.
is, right? So that you can hit the wants and needs of the people that are in there, and then they buy into the cause, and now they want to help, they want to serve, they want to step up. And that is a different type of mojo coming out of a 9 to 5 where people are working to earn this money, going into a community where sometimes you're paying to be in that community. Sometimes it's just the leader paying for everything, and then you're just bringing people in for free. So it's just a whole nother realm. I like that you brought that out. That's good. Um, so how exactly were you able to nail down your niche? You said productivity for moms. Why was it productivity for moms? Why wasn't it getting cute with moms or decluttering or whatever? Why was it productivity?
Girl, not getting cute with moms. First of all, child, I don't be getting cute at all. Like, I
Yes,
mean,
you
I do
do.
step out a little bit. A little bit. I step out a little bit. I step out a little bit. But I found that a lot of moms were asking me, how do I balance my time? Like, how do I do this? Or you hear like, oh, I never have enough time to do XYZ, or, there's not enough time in a day, and this and this and this. And I'm like, and people are just like really asking me, like, how do you do it? How do you do it? And I'm like, I don't know, I just do it. Like I don't have a set answer on how I do it, but I started just like really doing research on like different methodologies and different tools and tasks, and without even knowing I was doing these things, like I was doing it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I will stand on a hill and yell to whoever wants to listen. I swear by time blocking.
Mm-hmm.
That is the best and most effective time management tool, strategy, whatever you want to call it, because you are setting aside time. And that is really the issue that people have, that they're not setting aside the time to do the things
Yeah.
that God has called them to do because they are busy being distracted by the enemy because they're allowing the enemy to distract them because they have their mind. The enemy has their mind. So he has tricked them into thinking that they can't do the things and that they don't have time to do the things when really you do have the time. You just don't know how to manage it effectively.
Yeah. And here's a business strategy that you just said without knowing you said it, is that when you can figure out how to map out what you do, just like you said, people are asking you, how do you find time to do this? How do you get this done? And you're like, I don't know, I just do it. But when you can figure out the know-how of how you function, you can take that, turn it into a system, and teach it to somebody else. And that's how you
So,
create a solid working system in business. You just need to start paying attention to what you're doing, how you're doing it. That's why I like Fiverr. I really just got this revelation maybe a month ago or so, not too long ago. I was like, you know what? I need to be mimicking Fiverr structure and transfer it to the purpose place, right? The same order that they have my clients going through to get in contact with me needs to be right over there at thepurposeplace.com. Um, and it's going to flow like that. So that's what I'm in the works of setting up. But yeah, when you can really get your system down on paper, how you operate, how you live, then you can turn that around into a business and teach other people the same thing.
girl, it's funny that you said that because I literally had a call yesterday with my branding coach. And we were talking about that. And so she's helping me like break down the how, the why, the all the things, right? Because I have spoken about time management. I have, been in workshops and everything,
Mm-hmm.
I'm out here in these streets.
Okay.
But
Great.
like really finding a way to break it down for moms. Because here's the thing, like I could break it down for you, a single woman, because I've been there as well. But when I think what's missing is that a lot of people don't consider motherhood
Yeah.
and they don't consider how, like for me and my mom community, we don't do a lot of things during the week because what are we doing during the week? So a lot of our things are on weekends because it works for the community, right? So I can't tell a mom to time block unless she's even a stay-at-home mom too. But me telling a mom, the strategy for time management or productivity is not going to be the same for somebody that's not a mom. Like
Yeah.
I have to literally like tailor things towards mom. So it's going to look a lot different. I think that's why a lot of moms are out here like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And still can, not look like what you've been through. Well, because I have found an effective way to manage my time as a mom. See, when I first started my business, I was not a mom. So I could go all hours of the night. I could be, I could go to this class. I can do this. So now as a mom, how do I do this? Okay, so I have to really bring and build motherhood into my time management. And I think that's what makes it effective. It's during the day. Where's my kid at day camp? You know what I'm saying? Like, luckily I work from home, but I found small pockets of time that allows me to actually still do the things I enjoy while my child is taken care of. Granted, I'm married and I have a supportive husband, so then there's that. So then there are moms that are single and they're like, well, single moms like, okay, well, how do I do it? So now I have to walk you through your day. And then it's like, oh, I do have time. You do. You're
Yeah.
just choosing not to do what you want to do or, because you're scared. That's a whole nother thing. You
Right.
have to break down a mindset. But I don't even know where I was going with that or why I even got on that tangent. Oh, that's what I want to tell you. How you were saying, like, you take Fiverr and you break down like their structure. People underestimate. Everybody's like, oh, be an entrepreneur is great. You got your own time and this and this and this and this. You work harder as an entrepreneur, don't you? You work harder, right?
Yeah.
Because you gotta, if you don't work, you don't eat, right?
Mhm. Right.
People underestimate, people jump, I think sometimes, unless God has called you to do it, but some people get this glorified, um, this glorified look of entrepreneurship. They're like, oh, I'm gonna be my own boss. I ain't gotta answer to
They
nobody and
do.
this and this and this. When really you should have stayed on your job so that you can get some strategy, so you
Hmm.
can get some discipline. Because in order to be an entrepreneur, you need to be what? Very disciplined because you got to get up
Hmm.
in the morning. You still got to, operate as if you are going to a 9 to 5. And a lot of people don't talk about that either. I'm in my 9 to 5 because I love it, because the bills got to get paid, and because my husband said, you're not going to quit your job. Okay. And outside of that, but it's still teaching me because I'm a project manager. If I'm doing project management as a consultant on the side, don't you think it would make sense for me to stay in my job and take all the trainings and learn? And then when God releases me,
Yeah.
then to go.
Right.
I could probably quit my job today and be okay. I could probably secure a couple contracts. Easy, right? I could probably hop on Fiverr and be making money, the same money I'm making, but I still have things to learn. So for anybody that's listening and you're in corporate, use corporate as your training ground,
Yeah.
right? Use it to learn so that when you get to your business, you don't make the same mistakes that we made in our business, because we didn't have, like, I wasn't working in a product-based business. I probably wouldn't have made the same mistakes that I made, but this is training for me, and I love it here because I'm getting paid to get trained.
That. Come on.
What?
Big facts. That's it right there. I'm getting paid to be trained. That is the mindset to have. A lot of times we be rushing out of our 9 to 5. I gotta get out. I gotta get out. And you're right. People have. I used to have like this picture of what it would be like of running my own business and being my own boss, making my own schedule. But it's not all cookies and cake. I mean, it's real out here. Like you said, if you don't work, you're not gonna eat. And one of my struggles in entrepreneurship is procrastination. Not because I don't think I'm capable, but when I get overwhelmed or I'm not sure about something, I put it off until I have to deal with it. And you can't do that in your business. Your clients are waiting for you to respond. You got systems that need to be refined. You got orders that need to be in at a certain time, like 24/7. It don't stop. Especially you starting by yourself. It's just you. So you're like an octopus. You got 8 arms and one freaking. Well, do octopuses have one brain or do they have many brains? We're gonna have to Google it.
Now I got questions.
But yeah,
Uh,
you feel like an
uh,
octopus because you're like doing all of this stuff. So in the beginning, some things are going to be missed. Some things are going to have to be sacrificed.
mm-hmm.
But the thing about it is, once you jump out into this water as an entrepreneur, you just got to be willing to embrace what's to come. How many brains they got?
Girl, it says they have 9 brains.
Oh my
That
God.
says including a central brain and a mini brain in each of its 8 arms.
In each arm?
Yes.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I was not expecting that. I was thinking maybe it would be like 3 brains or something. Cause I'm like, they got a lot of arms. Like that, something has to be working them things. But whoa, that's wild. Blew my mind. Blew my mind.
9 Can you imagine having 9 brains? Like, you know how people be like, I don't sleep at night, my brain is going. You got 9 of them suckers.
Please hold for an ad from our next sponsor. Just kidding, it's me again. Join Women Alike Ministry of Restoration. It is a place for community conversations and accountability amongst like minded women. Use the link in the description to join. Talk soon. Bye.
Like this one over here, like, girl, yeah, go to the store. And this one,
Oh
like, girl, yeah, go
God,
to
I
sleep. And
would
then
be
this one,
in a
like, girl, go.
crazy house. I would be in the absolute crazy house. My one brain is enough. It's enough. It's enough. It's
Nine
already moving too
brains.
fast. That's crazy.
I am.
we
Shooketh.
gotta look up the octopus some more because that's super interesting. Super
I don't
interesting.
like the way they look. No, thank you. You can't. Especially now that I know that they have brains in their arms.
That's crazy. I need to see what the brain like. Where is it and what it looks like?
Girl,
That's
now I
wild.
am curious. I am curious now. And people eat octopus. I
I
think my
eat
husband has
calamari.
ate.
You eat calamari?
So let me say this. In my former older back in the day life, yes. But the texture of it, because I really want to ask him, like, has he had ate like octopus head or something?
Ask who? Jamal?
Mm-hmm.
Shoot,
Because he'll eat anything just about.
I wouldn't be surprised. Sometimes in the calamari they will put a whole piece of octopus in there, like a little baby one.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
eat it. It's
yeah.
good.
That's what
It's
this is actually
good.
turning my stomach. This is turning my stomach because
It's good. I couldn't eat like a whole big octopus. You saw Mr. Chom Chom?
yes, that's
He
what I mean. Like,
yeah,
yes,
he's
that's what I
tripping.
mean.
No,
Like that.
it would have
Like
to be fried.
people eat that. Like the calamari, that's fine. Even though the texture, like I've eaten it, but just thinking about it now, it's like turning my stomach. But he turned my stomach. I literally had to scroll because I
Yeah,
saw that and I said no. So
he's
he's eating
tripping.
brains too. He's eating the
Literally.
octopus brain. He
And
ate
when
it.
he eats stuff, he take a huge bite. Like he's not
Huge bite.
nibbling it. Like he bit that head. I was like, yeah, you're tripping, dog. Like you're tripping. I can't. Wow, we are
I'm
totally
getting
on a
sick.
tangent, but I had to know if they had how many brains they had. I felt like I was about to say that they had one brain, but I'm like, that can't be right. I feel like they got more than one
Girl, I
brain.
didn't even I just thought it was one, so that's news to me.
We're learning. We learned about a mantle today, the difference between a mantle and a
Girl,
mantel. Now we're learning that octopuses have 9 brains in their freaking arms. Like that's crazy. New knowledge is your portion.
like, so wait, so I have a question.
Hmm.
So I got a question. So when they just like moving and wiggling, like, so their brain is telling them like go left, go right. Like I have so many questions. Like I need to look this up. But anyway, we back, y'all. We back. I know they
That's
probably like,
crazy.
what?
What happened?
Look, it's so many things on the
I can't
octopus.
with those tentacles. I can't with the tentacles. Like you need to cut those off. I can't.
But that's probably where their brain is.
Yeah, because they got so many of them and they all work. I can't.
Oh my God. Mr. Chime Time came up when I put in octopus.
That's
Girl, no,
funny.
don't go on there. That's making me itch. Ew.
Don't go in there. Okay, people,
Okay.
we back. We back. Wow. But yeah, you be at every event that we have in the communities, right? You be doing your own events. You run your podcast. You be traveling. Like you are out here like really momming it for real. Like mom goes all day long. Cause you and Liam doesn't miss a beat. Like he got everything he needs. Like you are well rounded, as they would say. Like you hey, mom goes. So to find your clients, what are you doing to connect with these people?
That is a good question because I know people be hopping in DMs and all that. Girl, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm really low key shy. If you did, did you know that
No,
I'm a little shy?
you're not shy.
Um, okay. So, yes, I am. So what I've actually started doing, so I mean on social media, so I'm actually learning how to have my content convert to not only, yeah, you want to monetize, but convert to followers. But I am starting to go outside and network with people.
Yes, yes, you are. You were at an event the other day, and I was like, "Look at my girl, the girlies at the coffee shop or whatever." I'm here for that. I'm here for it. And so
Or whatever.
you're
Yeah,
just like
I'm starting to network.
yes. Yours is like networking, word of mouth. Word of mouth is the best form of marketing because people are more likely to lean into a recommendation from somebody that they know. And that's more so of how Women Alike is growing through word of mouth as well, which I am grateful for. So with that marketing or networking system that you are leaning into, do you see growth in your business?
Ooh, that's good. So, um, a slow and steady. And again, I think it's like word of mouth too, because really that's how the mommy franchise is growing is through word of mouth. People will tag me in posts when it pertains, like, especially when I have my beauty brand, people was
Mm-hmm.
always, um, but now that I'm on the other side of a service-based business, people still tag me in a post as a coach, but I think the more that I like network, even virtually, because my newest members have come from other communities or online. Truly, honestly, like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like go to the store and people came like my community is filled with people like all over the United States.
Yes.
So marketing, just like really showing up online has, yes, it has, got me out there a little bit, or even when I go to events, just being like, oh yeah, I'm, this person, this or that. So I will say that I have seen growth because when I started with the mommy franchise, how many people? I don't even remember. It was at least 10 people in there, and I think we're at 19 now. I want to say, maybe. Don't quote me. Yes, 19. And then some of the people have come over from just business relationships too. Like, I've invited them in, like, hey, I think you'll be great for the community. I think you'll get something out of it, or, what have you. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's slow and steady. I'm getting out there. I'm getting out there.
That's good. TMP is definitely the place to be. Like when I say you have built community in that room, like you have built community. Like you would think y'all knew each other. Like sometimes I pop in there in the group to like clear my notifications out and I'll go to the group chat to like scroll all the way to the bottom so it'll clear out, y'all. And I'll be like, these girls is in here really kikiing like all day. Sending pictures of their family. I'm like, I love it here. I love it here. So
Hmm.
let's get into these client stories or customer stories, but I really want you to tell the scammer story, whichever one you want to tell us, since there's been so many
Um,
occurrences.
okay. So yeah, I will give you one. So one was when I first started in the beauty business, and this girl was like making lip gloss. So I was like, oh, okay. She showed me the color. She showed me like all the things. Like, okay, cool. I think she's legit, blah blah blah. And one thing my husband tell me is like pay through PayPal if you can, especially if it's somebody new. So I'm like, okay, cool. So she so I paid her, and then she like blocked me or something. Like she just dismissed me.
What?
And um and so I was like, dang. So I think I had told him like, oh, this girl that I was supposed to get lip gloss from, like she blocked me. And I want to say the crazy part is she had me make a board on Pinterest, and like we joined the board together or something like that. I'm trying to think. It was something like kind of just like crazy because she was like, oh, what colors do you want? That's what it was. So she was asking me like what colors did I want, and she could make any color, blah, blah, blah. So we had a board on Pinterest. Yeah, she blocked me, but I got my money back.
Dang. Soon as you ordered, sis blocked you. She didn't
Hmm.
even try to string you along or nothing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, no, it was like, and it wasn't even like I don't remember how much money it was because again, this was a long time ago, but it was maybe, I don't remember. I don't even remember. I ain't gonna try to guess, but yeah, that was one. Another story. I don't know if I even want to tell this story. It got
Don't tell it if you don't know, child. We ain't trying to get caught.
yeah, maybe I won't tell that story.
We ain't trying to
I mean,
get.
I do have a story about bad business practices.
Okay, tell it.
I wasn't necessarily scammed, but because the girl was delivering on her product. I mean by people just jump into businesses and don't have their back ends together. So I was in this like this graphics group, and every month the girl, and it was on like Group Me or something. And so every month the girl would drop like templates, and we weren't paying like no a lot of money. It was like $10 a month or something, but it was like a bunch of us in the group. And she would drop graphics templates in the group. And she would even ask us, we would have meetings, and she would even ask us like, templates do y'all want this month? Or if there was like a holiday coming up, she would like, throw some of those templates in there or whatever. Like it was pretty good for what I needed at the time. You know what I'm saying? But her templates, I started noticing they were very like uh I don't it's a certain type of business owner that was not me. I have a more clean aesthetic, a more luxury chic,
Mm-hmm.
and that aesthetic was getting like, you remember when the boutiques was popping up and everybody
Yeah,
had to change Shopify site?
yeah.
Like that aesthetic, like it was just not my aesthetic. So I was like, you know what? Like this has served its purpose. I'm going to I'm gonna just leave or whatever. And so I had messaged her, and I was in her mentorship, which was I think like 25 a month. So if you paid the 25, you didn't have to pay the 10 or 15. I think it was a 10 or 15. It was like $10 a month. So because it was included. And in
Mm-hmm.
the mentorship, she would actually show you how to, do like graphic design. And she was showing you other business things like how to get your business on Google, and then and don't get me wrong, like she was actually really good, at what she did and her teachings and stuff like that. But bad business practice because you didn't have your back end set up. So when I said I'm going to cancel, you didn't have a way for me to like I had to reach out to you to cancel, which I knew, going into it, like, cause she would even tell us like, hey, if you want to cancel, just reach out to me. So I did, and I reached out in time enough, not like say your payment due on the first. I didn't reach out to her on the 30th or the 31st or whatever and be like, hey, I would reach out to her like 2 weeks in advance because I knew,
Right.
it would come out. So she was like, hey, okay, I'll cancel you. So the first thing was when I entered her mentorship, she was still charging me the $10 for the graphic group. So she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. So she was like, I'm gonna refund you your money or whatever. Never did. So then when I wanted to just like cancel everything because I'm like, this doesn't serve me anymore, she was like, okay, I canceled you. I think I emailed her and she was like, okay, I canceled you. But the money was still coming out of my account. And this went on, for like at least a month or two. And so I was like emailing her, I was messaging her. She's like, I don't know why, like, it should, I canceled it. Like, she's sending me screenshots, whatever, whatever. I have Stripe as well. You can do a lot from your phone. Like, I can go in there and do pretty much everything on my phone that I do on my laptop or whatever. So she was like, I don't know, like, maybe it's something on the phone. Like, I don't know. I don't know. So I was like, okay. So she's like, I'm gonna refund you. I'm waiting. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna keep waiting. I just went to my bank at this point.
Yeah.
And I remember somebody in a group had called her out and they basically were um, like said something like, I told you to cancel. I disputed with my bank, blah, blah, blah. And so, when I see stuff like that in the group, I'm like, oh, what happened? What happened? You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that I was gonna end up going down that road too.
Right.
But she had put a message in the group like, hey, don't dispute because it hurts me on Stripe and, just different things. So I'm like, yeah, like I, I don't want anybody's business. Like, that's not my goal. But as a business owner, take care of your business. If somebody tells you they want to cancel, have a system in place to where they can cancel. And then this was the other thing. So, um, I know on Stripe, like if you do like, cause she did like a payment link, so it was just automatically coming out. So yes, I think she would have to physically go in there and cancel or whatever. She probably should have set it up differently, but it works for her if you can keep up with it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up getting some of my money back, but not all of it. Because I think some of it, like, I can't remember if I did. I think she did end up giving me my money back. But then my bank ended up, that's what happened. She ended up giving me my money back. So my bank was like, "Oh, we see that she, returned your money or something." And I was like, "Yes, she did."
Mm,
So that's like one of my stories of bad business practices. So as a business owner, that's why I'm saying, like, make sure you have your back end set up to where if you have a subscription service, make sure people can either A, cancel it on their own, or you're on top of it to, because I just got a text like, "Hey, can you push my, subscription payment back, to this date?" Now, yes, I can do that, but if it's already in process, there's nothing I can do.
right,
You know what I'm saying? Like, so you on as a customer, make sure you're handling your business, but you as a business owner, make sure you're handling your business too. Like, keep an accurate record or whatever.
right.
So that's my two stories, child.
Wow, that's wild. That's for certain why we need to appreciate the season of preparation, right? We jump into business and we get all torn up because millions of people aren't following and subscribing and buying things. But can you even handle that load? Like, I used to pray, God, I used to pray, like, Lord, God, I'm really ready to be an entrepreneur. You can send me the clients. I don't care if I have to run back and forth. This is when I was just doing products. I don't care if I have to run back and forth to Michael's with my head looking like I'm crazy with my head about to fall off or whatever. I don't care, Lord. Just send me the orders. Child, even when my orders were booming like that, I was stressed out. Like, I did not keep a stock of t-shirts. I did not keep a stock of vinyl. Everything was like made to order, which really a dumb practice if your sales are booming like that, and especially if you're not selling custom shirts. Like, my shirts were already pre-made, not designed.
Yes.
They just buy it and not gonna make it. But yeah, like, you gotta be ready to house the volume that you're seeking for. Like, definitely make the sacrifice to stay up 3 hours late or get up 3 hours earlier to work on that sales funnel, to work on that subscription setup or whatever the case may be, because it's necessary. I was sharing with Amber how, like, girl, I to work on things for the purpose place, like my website, my graphics, my promotional flyers. I gotta do that at night. Like, I gotta do that while I'm laying in the bed, not in these working hours. Because these working hours, I'm working on client stuff. But when I go
Yes.
home,
Yep.
that's when I'm working on my stuff, right? And I have to sacrifice that time to get my systems in order so that I'm not spending so much time. Like, all 8 of my little octopus arms aren't gonna be spread out everywhere. They need to be over here, focused on one thing at a time, and not run around looking crazy. But thanks for sharing that insight. But I had some scamming customers when I first started my product based business. I was doing waist beads and the t-shirts and masks. So what really got me jumping was masks. So I gotta put a picture out. I was making these bandana shaped masks. So they were like this, and then they had the elastic loops around your ear. They were
Mhm.
thumping. My aunt gave me the idea. I drew out the what is it called when you sew the pattern? I drew out the pattern
Yeah.
myself, and then I just started making them and selling them on Etsy. They were thumping, okay? And so, like, I was selling those. I was selling waist beads. I was selling t-shirts, and I made these like little keychains or whatever. But this one girl, she ordered some waist beads from me. I sent them out to her. It said that it was delivered. Tell me why months later she messaged me and was like, "Hey, I never got my waist beads. Can you send them back out to me, or I'm gonna have to, dispute or whatever." And I'm like, "Girl, I'm not sending you nothing else. You got your waist beads."
Right.
Right. And then I had the nerve to, I got Etsy, but I have my personal website as well. So I like had my waist piece on there as well. And another customer did a chargeback on my I was on Shopify at that time, on Shopify, for some stuff that they received. I'm like, y'all are tripping. So these customers be scamming too. They be trying to get you. They definitely be trying to get you. I believe there was a trend at one time in life where people were like, "Yeah, just order it and then dispute it at your bank, and you'll get your
Yes.
money back, and you'll still have your product."
Yes.
And they were doing that to small business
Yes.
owners because we was booming during that.
They they were doing that, especially to people that sold hair. I saw that a lot. Like the hair girlies, the girlies that was out here selling the bundles, the wigs. Like I I've I wear wigs like a lot. And I saw a lot of girlies saying like getting chargebacks, like, and hair, at least the kind of hair I wear is not like cheap. Like I'm talking about the hair companies that I would buy from, their hair is like 100 plus for a bundle. So imagine somebody doing like $400 and $500 chargebacks. Graphic designers. One of my homegirls got a high chargeback. She designed like some labels for somebody, charge back on that. And the crazy part about it, and that's kind of like what made me scared. I'm grateful to God, like in my business, like I haven't had that happen to me because I know somebody else who got a charge back, and it was like a $10,000 or $15,000 charge back on their in their business, and they no longer accept this particular like card because no matter what, like the card is going to side with the customer. Kind of like PayPal. Like a lot of people don't like using PayPal because it really protects the customer. The girlies was stealing wigs, honey, the
That's
wigs and the bundles. I
crazy.
was like, y'all are wild out here. So I noticed a lot of business owners were putting certain what do you call it, like terms and conditions, like in their like at their checkout, like you acknowledge this, like different acknowledgments and different things. People started putting protection, so if you say you don't get it, like you could pay 99 cent like route protection or something like that.
Mm,
Like I did notice that a lot of people started putting in different protections because the girlies was scamming, like even to the point where it was like once it leaves my house and you get the tracking number, I am no longer responsible. You get no refunds. Like people were having to put in different language because the scamming was at an all-time high during the
mm-hmm.
pandemic. I felt bad for people. You're losing product.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
stuff not cheap. And back then during the pandemic, the stuff was a lot cheaper than it is now. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like a lot things have gone up. So yeah, the customers be scamming, the business owners be scamming, baby. They just be out here scamming.
For real. And that's one thing I appreciated about Shopify. When they did do the chargeback, they handled it for me. So like I didn't really have
Oh,
to do nothing but like submit doc. So it would ask me to submit proof that the product was delivered, and I had screenshots and everything. Like, and the girl went in. So I don't remember where we were talking at. It had to be, I don't know if this was a time where I had two phones. I had a business phone and my regular phone. But anyway, I screenshotted her conversation, and then I went back to it and realized she deleted it. I think it was on Facebook. I think it's where she found me
I've
on
done that. I
Facebook.
did that too. I did that too with the girl that scammed me with the lip gloss. Something told me that was Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Like when she blocked me or whatever, I started screenshotting the messages. And so for like a little bit, I had actually started like when I was ordering stuff with people or if I had conversations, I was screenshotting the messages.
Yeah.
I did the same thing.
That's crazy that you have to do that. But sis went and deleted all the messages. And I'm like, God, I thank you because this was trying to get me. Granted, it was probably on like 30 something dollars, but still, when you get a charge back, they charge you a fee for that. I'm like,
Oh, really?
yeah, you get charged as well as them. They get their money back, so you lose that money. Then they charge you for getting the charge back.
Girl, not they charging you for getting a charge back. Girl, it is, let me tell y'all, business owners got to be the toughest soldiers out here, baby. They on the front lines of the battlefield because it be real.
Yeah,
People talk about corporate America is a scam and this, and yes, it's set up like the plantation and all of that. I can agree with that. But baby, an entrepreneur,
yeah.
you want to learn a lot about yourself.
Okay,
Go into business. You gonna
okay,
learn. You gonna learn. You
okay.
gonna learn.
Okay. Gonna blow your mind. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, child. So, what's your word of wisdom for the people as we wrap this thing on up? For those who are, for
Oh,
moms who maybe want to become a coach, or just moms who are just listening to this podcast for inspiration, or any other business owner, what is your word of wisdom?
girl, it's gonna be a lot of wisdom.
Pour it out. Pour it out.
First
This
of
might be
all,
the thrust. We got to go in all day.
girl, I'm gonna be there too. I would say the like thing. So first of all, I would say surround yourself with community. So find like, and if you are in a community, don't be afraid to be like, hey, I want to start a business. You know, people say get a mentor and all of that, and yeah, that's good. You should get a mentor. Um, if you can afford one, if you can find one, but if you can't, community can be your mentor.
Mm,
So find community, I would say, number one. Well, no, before finding community, pray to God and ask him for strategy for your business, right? And then ask God to lead you to the community. Because let me tell you, the mommy franchise is straight off of God. It's straight out of
yeah.
God's will. Straight. You know what? That's gonna be a shirt. Straight out of God's will.
I'm here for.
Woo. Um, girl, that's a shirt. Straight out of God's will. Um, pray to God, get strategy, find community, and do it scared. Do it scared because that's when you're gonna learn the most. Um, oh, and do your research. Google is free for now.
Yeah.
Do your research. I was so hung up on I had to have these hundreds of thousands of dollars to start the business. And I didn't. I really didn't have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars to start the business.
Mm-hmm.
But what I had to have is a mindset to research.
Yeah.
So
Come
do
on
your
now,
research.
Whitney.
You could really start a business today with $0, especially now. It's
Okay.
so many free things. Like, I wish, like, I ain't gonna even hold you. I wish I knew. I'm gonna drop a gem on y'all. I wish I knew back then how to build my Google website for free because I would have just had my domain and built my website and attached my website to the free Google site and then attached my Stripe to the button or the link on the site. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have
Mm-hmm.
done that. It would have probably saved me thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
But that's okay because I'm using that now for something else. Or people just use landing pages. I would have had links to just like stuff. I'm not saying that you don't need it because I'm gonna trust somebody with a website not having a website. You know, I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to always DM my order to you. You know, have a
Right.
system, have a process, people. I don't
Right.
care if it's a Google form.
Right.
Have
That's
something,
important.
but you do not need hundreds of thousands of dollars. You could, baby, if you got $20, you can buy a domain and you
Mm-hmm.
can start your business. Like legit, you can. So
Yeah.
that's all my wisdom.
That's for sure. And I can add to that with the attend, go to free stuff. Like a lot of times when we make that initial subscription to Wix or Shopify, they be having workshops and they're free for those who are subscribed. So go to those free workshops so that you can learn. And sometimes people will even reach out to you in your DMs and be like, hey, I'm having this workshop or whatever. So let me just give a story. So this guy reached out to me in my DMs, and they're so clever because they did it like unsuspecting. Like I didn't assume at first that it was like a business call, but it was. But I was like, oh, y'all slid in here real smooth. I need to see what's going on. And so it was a training on um, how to do like code messaging in people's DM, but in an automated way. So
Hmm.
AI would do it for you. It will crawl different Facebook groups, get people's information, and send them messages for you. And the goal was to do, I think, do 75 or either 100 cold messages a day. And then ultimately that would lead you up with 10 leads a day if you did that. But the AI system that they set up would do it 100% for you. I wouldn't even know if that was possible if I didn't respond to the guy showing up in my DMs, right? So go to the free
Is
stuff.
that legal?
Yeah, it's a
Is
lot
I
of
need to know, is
websites that they use now, huh?
that legal?
Yeah, and you know what? I was watching a documentary on Mark Zuckerberg. That's the dude from Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. So I was watching the documentary
Mm-hmm.
on him, and they were saying that he was under fire because people are like upset with him because privacy is not really protected that well on Facebook. So I guess it's based on however the website is set up where you could have access to be able to do that.
That's
But
not
yeah, it would crawl Facebook groups, get people's accounts. It would message them on Facebook though. It wouldn't get their like contact information like their cell phone number, but it would message them on Facebook, even Instagram, of course, because
Oh,
they're
okay.
married together. But yeah, go to the free stuff. Amen.
I'm very interested in that. I have tech background, but I work in tech. And so that is so interesting to me. Like I'm gonna look outside of looking up the octopus stuff. I'm about to look into that because that is interesting.
We gotta look up the octopus stuff. Yeah, I think it's called like a website crawler. It's something about crawling. I'll see if I can find my notes because I wrote down a bunch of the websites that they said to use. Of course, it's
Mm,
expensive, but I mean, if you're
of
gonna get
course.
into that water like that, I mean, that's very effective to just be messaging people automated without you having to put in all that time to type out the messages and all that. It's worth the money.
Girl, that's
Awesome.
crazy and creepy because I'll be like, wait, where you come from? Like my crazy tail been and forgot I had the thing crawling for me. And then people be messaging me or booking stuff. And I'll be like, so how did you find me?
That's
Girl.
bad. That's bad. That's bad, girl. You gotta get that together. But yeah, that's how they found me through a hashtag, and saw that I was tagging coaching, and so it pulled my account and they messaged me. Like that's super crazy.
They crawled up on you with their little octopus arms.
Girl, they sure did. They using their brains. They using their nine brains effectively.
Effectively. Okay, girl. That's good. That is good. So
Yes. Amen. Um,
yeah.
oh man. Well, all right. That's a wrap. We are in the door. Thanks for being a part of the podcast again. You are always a treat for me and for the people that are listening. Let them know how they can get connected with you because I definitely didn't ask you that last time. Let them know how they can get connected with Just Wit.
Girl, I am sitting talking about all these animals. It's warm outside, and girl, I'm sitting here watching this spider crawl up my freaking ring light, and it's creeping me out because where did you come from? Number one. Girl, it's literally on my ring light.
Mm-mm.
Um, so y'all can follow me on Instagram at I am just wits. And if you're interested in the mommy franchise, you could just look at my Instagram bio and the mommy franchise will be there because franchise is spelled with the PH, not a F, okay? Because PH stands for pray heavily because we be praying over there, okay? You can also head to my website that NaQuandra beautifully designed for me at www.justwit.com.
Amen. There it is. Boom. There it is. Did you talk about your podcast? It's loud over here. Did you talk about your podcast?
No, I did not talk about my podcast because I'm on your podcast.
So we'll put it in the show notes, okay? Yeah, wow.
Yes.
All right, sis. Well, that is a wrap. We'll talk to y'all later.